Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in the last video, I showed you when you have two different data sets, how can you compare the difference between those two data sets? In this video, I'm going to show you how ChatGPT can help us to find the count difference in two different data sets and how to create a summary table for it. Let's find out. Today's business scenario is like this. So you have an employee record from 2022 and you have another one of 2023. And then you want to compare the headcount change over the years by country. So of course, like you can do it in pivot table. You can create a pivot table for 2022 employee, another one for 2023, and then you put them together and then you format it. That's how you can do it in Excel. So now let's see how we can use ChatGPT to do the same thing in VBA. Okay, now let's see what instruction we give ChatGPT. So what I have is create VBA code that compares count of employee ID by country in sheet 2002 and 2003. So I think that's pretty specific. Okay, now let's copy the code, go back to our Excel, go to Developer tab, View Code, and pasting the code. Let's first have a quick check of the code. It's adding something saying, well, first you need to find the worksheet. If not, then give a message box. Not necessary, but it doesn't hurt to keep it. If you really don't like it, you can go to this icon, block, and then just make it a comment so it doesn't run. And then assume employee ID are in column A. That's true. That we want to confirm, yes. And then we also assume country code in column B, which is not the case for us. Our country is in column E, so we need to change this code to column E for country. And then it's creating the dictionary, and then it's making the count, and then also for the same 2023 tab, we need to change it to column E. And then in the new sheet, it's going to create the three columns, the countries, and then 2022 count, 2023 count. Okay, everything looks good. Let's now save the code and run it. Okay, it says like for each control variable must be variant or object. So it seems that this VBA code actually did not define country in the code as object or country. Okay, here it says we define the country as string, but then the error box tells us it has to be a variant. So or object. So let's change it to variant, and then now let's save and see if it works this time. Okay, so it says it's working. However, I do not see anything here. Actually going to my 2022 employee record and make it the summary table. And of course, I do not want that. I want to keep my 2022 employee record. So which means that this code basically doesn't work. We have to try it again. Okay, now let's come back to ChatGPT. So this time for my instruction, I added a few new words. I want to compare the counts of my employee ID in a new sheet. That's what I didn't specify last time, which caused our failure. So let's try in a new sheet and try it again. Okay, now copy our code, go back to Developer tab, View Code, select the old code, delete and paste in the new one, and then do any customization we need. So for example, define the range for the country column, which is in our column E. That means we need to customize it for both sheets to column E. Anything else? Looks good. So I want to check if it's creating a new sheet. Yes, so it's creating a new sheet that's called employee count comparison. That's fine. And then it will have three columns, and the name will be country, and then count in 2022, count in 2023. Okay, looks good. Let's try it. Okay, so now you can see that we do have an employee count comparison table, and it does have all the headcount. So let me just quickly confirm if it's truly the overall headcount for our 2 years data. So in 2022, I should have 1860 employees, which I do. You can see I have 1860, and then for 2023 I have 1971. Okay, perfect. That means that this line of code is running properly for this purpose. Now I'm going to show you an advanced case that actually shows you the limitation of ChatGPT's VBA code. So now I still have this spreadsheet. I did make some change to my employee data. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, but I will do the same thing. I will count the employee headcount in 2022 and 2023 and ask VBA to create summary table. So here is the same code. I will do the same customization for the country. Make sure it's pointing to column E, and then let's run it and then see what has changed. Okay, the summary table looks so far so good. And if we want to do the same validation, I'll make the headcount change for my two spreadsheets. So 2022, and yes, we do have 1812 employees. And for 2023, let's do the count. Okay, wait. For 2023, we actually have 1971 employees. So why is my summary table only showing 1923? Now I can tell you what change I made. Actually, in my 2022 employee count, I deleted all my Brazil employees. But then in 2023, I still have Brazil in here as one category. However, when I run it with the VBA code that ChatGPT provided me, it only counted all the countries available in 2022. So it completely ignored the headcount that's in Brazil in 2023. And this is a very common case in employee headcount management. Like maybe last year you had a few departments or in a few countries, and then in the new year you decide to have more. You decide to open new offices, create new job functions. However, the VBA code that we currently have does not capture that. So if you are just relying completely on the VBA code, you are doing it wrong. So how do we capture all the changes in reality in our data sheet? Okay, now let's come back to the code and I'll show you where the VBA code is missing out. As you can see at this point, the VBA code will work well if for the year-over-year comparison you have exactly the same category, just like as in the first example that we just showed you. It's calculating perfectly. However, if your category changes year over year, then this set of code does not capture that. And the reason for that is when it's writing the comparison results to the new sheets, it's picking up all the countries available only in the 2022 dictionary, which are the 4 countries. So if a country is not in the 2022 dictionary, but in 2023 dictionary, unfortunately, this line of code will miss that. So first, you know this is your 2022 employee headcount, so you know the 2022 data is accurate, and rewrite your sheet to differentiate that, so you know it's 2022. And then come back to this code just here, change the dictionary from 2022 to 2023. And then there you go. Okay, so now you have the headcount summary in with the countries that's listed in 2023. And then now when you do the headcount, it is actually showing us the correct amount. For Brazil in 2022, there's no Brazil employees, so you know that's 0. So my advice for the workaround is that when you do this kind of year-over-year comparison, run the code with your 2022 category, and then you run it again, the same code with the 2023 category. And then you can compare both to make sure that you're not missing any category. Because for example, this time in 2023, I do have all the countries that I have. But what if in 2023, I decide to drop Ireland? Then when I run it in 2023, then my headcount in Ireland will be completely 0. And then you will be missing out Ireland as one of the category. So in that case, it will be most helpful if you run the summary and then you compare them together to get the most complete picture for year-over-year comparison. That is everything I want to cover today. I hope that you find it helpful. So for me, this is by far the most complicated request I give ChatGPT. And as you can see, it does take me a few runs to validate, test, and get the right data for my purpose. I think this is a really good reminder because honestly, when I was doing the videos in the previous rounds, when I was running those simple requests, ChatGPT has been doing so well that I was wondering, oh my God, am I losing my job if ChatGPT is this smart? But until I create this video, then I realized there's still a lot of limitations in ChatGPT. And there's still a lot of things that you have to have a human brain to identify and create and the accurate analysis for your purpose. So I think I'm happy that I'm keeping my job for the next little while, but still, I still want to explore more about ChatGPT and see what it can do for me. Let's find out in my next video.